my microphone in Discord.
It's probably fine, but
Like I have desktop audio, but that captures everything. So I can't isolate specific sounds for Unity at least.
yeah, I was hoping when I went live it would send me like a link to my Restream thing, but
Is it okay if I mute but still listen to you guys? Like a
yeah,
little
no problem.
stream?
I guess we should
Can you spam W's in the chat?
we should probably mute well, yeah. I'm gonna mute Mateo, and when we're ready, I'm gonna mute you, Brady. But then, or actually, I guess but then we should mute ourselves actually, so then we can just unmute if we have any comments to make or anything.
Yeah.
And I guess for you, Carson, if you want to see what we're even doing, I'll share my screen.
You can wait. Yeah, are you like streaming live somewhere? Or
Oh
you
yeah,
just,
you can just watch my live stream.
where are you streaming it?
YouTube and Twitch. Yeah, I'll send you.
I don't know. Yeah, I was gonna say.
I'll send you. Just give me a second to like set it up. All right. Do you want my Twitch or my YouTube?
They go. Oh, I was gonna say you don't have ads. Never mind. Either one. YouTube, actually, YouTube. I'll put it on the TV.
When you guys set this up, I'm gonna go to the bathroom.
All right. Do you want my Twitch or my YouTube?
They go. Oh, I was gonna say you don't have ads. Just gonna put it in Discord.
Yeah. All right. Do you want my Twitch or my YouTube?
Oh, I was gonna say you don't have ads.
You see it?
Yeah, I see it. All right, I'm gonna leave.
Okay. All right, Brady, you ready? Brady? I don't know where he went. I guess I should run some.
I'm back.
Brady's back.
All right. Do we do an intro? What's the plays here?
Yeah, probably should have like written out an intro. I mean, if we're doing the video, I'll probably just do a voiceover anyways. But all right, boys, here's the plan. So I guess we'll just kind of go over exactly what we're doing again, just for ourselves, because I don't think again there'll be a voiceover for the video, so we don't have to use this part. But so we're both making a game. We're gonna do it for today. We're gonna do 2 1-hour segments, like I think, and then maybe we can decide if we want to do more. But we'll do 1 hour, then we'll check in with each other, maybe show off our progress, do another hour to kind of finish things up, and then see where we are, and then see if we want to do another session or two. to kind of like tighten things. Because game dev takes a while. Carson, give me a W in the chat. Here, I'm just still setting some things up. So we need to. Yeah. All right, so we'll have 1 hour. Our common theme that we're both going to be working with is just platformer. So it can be anything that's just like of a platformer. And so I have to do everything myself. I'm not allowed to use AI. I can, maybe look up some documentation about stuff, but I have to kind of hand code everything. I have to, if I want any art, I have to make that myself. You are not allowed to do anything that's not AI. You need AI to make your decisions for you. You need AI to write all your code and kind of tell you what to do in the editor, because you know nothing. You're right, like you know nothing about how to make a game.
I know nothing. I'm looking at complete hieroglyphics here.
Yeah, it's like
I
an airplane
what I'm looking
cockpit with all the buttons and shit, and you don't know what anything
Yeah.
does. So you'll need to like both like the rules of like this little thing, and just out of like necessity, you have to really rely on AI to do everything. And we'll see if someone with zero experience with AI is better than someone with a bit of experience in it. And if developers are just cooked. All right, with that, I think we can like get started. We can maybe meet up in Discord and join each other after like an hour. I'll start the timer. Sound good?
See what we can do here.
All right. 3, 2, 1, go. All right. I probably should have done like a stream overlay with like the with the camera or the timer or whatever. Would have been nice, but all right, so let's get started. I've done kind of things like this like a million times, so we're just gonna start with a square. It's gonna be our player for now. Well, Carson, let me know if everything is good, like sound balancing and everything, or if there's anything I should change. So we got this player, and then I'll make a folder for scripts, and then in the script I'll make a folder for not a folder, a script for player movement. And so from here, I guess I'll make the floor preemptively, not a triangle. All right, and then we'll just have that. We're gonna add a box collider 2D, and then probably a rigid body. I probably don't need a rigid body, but might as well add a static rigid body to it. Same with you get a rigid body 2D and a box collider 2D, though you'd be a dynamic, maybe kinematic I should do. No, I'll do dynamic for now, and then freeze rotation, we don't need the player rotating. And then, so for starters, without even having any code, they should have like gravity and stuff. Yeah. You see, it does like a little gravity and stuff. So now we can actually write the code so that we can move around. Usually I just modify the velocity directly, but I've kind of learned that that's bad practice. So I think this might not be the time, a little challenge or whatever, but I think I might experiment with using forces instead. So for starters, let's get a reference to the rigid body 2D of the player. And the RB equals get component rigid body 2D. And then we're doing the new input system. I'm used to the old input system, right? Maybe I can use the old input system. If input get key down. Okay, yeah, we have the old input system. I really should learn the new input system Unity has, but I don't. Not off the top of my head, at least. I have to like look it up. So then we'll do. So this is just detecting if the player presses W. So should it get key down? Yeah. Probably. Again, I do want to just like modify the velocities. Actually, probably like I'll start with D first because it's like left and right movement. I'm thinking if I want to do like use forces. Let me try it. What is it, add force? Yeah. And then vector 2 dot left. And then we'll add a like speed. In fact, I can even make that a serialized field. Which a serialized field means that we can kind of modify this value from the editor. We don't have to go into the code to like change this value around. We'll start at 5, I guess. It might be way too much. All right, let's see. I've never, or very briefly, used forces for like moving a player around instead of just manually modifying the velocity. But let's see how it works. I'm sure Brady's stream is a lot more interesting than this right now, because he has to he's gonna have to figure shit out. I truly wonder how he's doing. All right, this isn't work. Oh, I didn't apply the script to the player. Actually, I want this like towards the top. So you see, it's a serialized field, which means you can modify it here. That value. Oh, we have an issue. Yeah, okay. It is the new. It does not want me to use the old input system. I had an inkling. Ugh. I'm allowed to use documentation, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to look up documentation on the new Unity, or the input system. Because I don't remember it off the top of my head. And here's what this documentation looks like. Yeah, I mean, it's somewhat familiar. I've done some stuff with it before. So it's something like, I go here to input system. Then move, yeah, it's WASD. Stick. So how does that translate to the code? Right, this is just player movement is such a simple thing. And I'm already getting like hung up on it. Mainly because it's just like a new thing for me. Like this specific input system. The other one seemed fine to me, but I don't understand. The workflow section, decide how to use input. I was just like an example of how it looks in code. Let's see. I could also look at old projects I've done that have used it. Yeah, for now I'm gonna look at an example here. So let's see how they behaviors, player controller. So let's see how they did it. On movement. Input movement equals value dot read value. And value is given on the on movement. Right, and that's like that's built in, I think. Yeah. You do on and then whatever you defined here. So this would be like on move maybe. And then you can get the value. It's a little strange, but okay, so I'll leave update there for now. On sorry. But not on animator move. Or do I have to using Unity Engine private? They did a weird thing here. I mean, the challenge is not the time for me to try to learn the new input system, but honestly, I should already know it, but I just kind of delayed learning it because I just like the old one. All right. Well, it seems like one thing I can do is just kind of use it in the old way by having key. I wish I could like.
David,
What's up, Brady?
I've ran into an issue, potential issue.
Yeah.
I don't know when I open up to do the code, it says
Oh,
if
you don't
open
have
in Visual Studio.
You don't have Visual Studio.
Should I download that?
Yeah,
then?
yeah, you should.
Is that why
download
this is not opening?
Yeah.
Okay.
You want me to pause the timer?
Yeah, if you could for just like 2 seconds.
Oh, the timer just reset for whatever reason. So.
Do I download that through Microsoft?
You can download it through different ways, I think.
It just keeps bringing me to, I'll just do community, I guess. Visual Studio Community, maybe.
I don't want to do too much while he's waiting, but I'm just looking at an old project I worked on where we used the new input system. And so we did some like, God, it's so weird. So we make a key control variable. I mean, again, I think there's a way to do just like, I remember doing something where it's just on and then like the callback word, but I don't know how to have that kind of like set up. Also, is there any, yeah, it says we need to import the input system stuff. So I'll do that. I wonder, can I do a key? I can do a keyboard. I just say KB, I guess. Equals keyboard dot current. I like this more than the other way, because this way you have to make something for each individual key and then set that up and start. Instead, we'll just do that with the keyboard. And then I think you can use it like the old input system now, by just like, oh, but yeah, here we have things that just happen, like start crouch. I don't think, is this, oh, it's probably, no, it's called an update. And then, yeah, and then using that. Alright, well, I think I'm good
Alright,
now.
I think I've got it open. I think good.
Alright. It took you this long to open up a script. how's it going along?
I had to install it, and it took a minute, but now I have.
Well, I
finally have
mean,
everything open.
I mean, like, when you unmuted and like talked to me, was that like the first time you even tried to like start writing a script?
Well, yeah, I have everything set up. It just made me, like, I had to launch the script, but I had nothing to launch it through.
Right. All right, sounds good. How's it going? Is it as confusing as you thought, or are you kind of like getting through figuring it out?
If I didn't have the AI, this would have taken me 3 hours to get to the point I'm at right now. So.
All right, sounds good. I'm gonna set it to 40 minutes because I think that was about, or maybe 45 minutes. The timer, because it reset, but I think 45 is.
All right.
Is good.
See you in 45 minutes.
All right, so that was kind of an embarrassing, but that was we got through, I think, that roadblock of being confused on how the new input system works. So we do keyboard dot, and then we can do like W key, or it would be like D key or whatever. And then dot like is pressed. Or is there like a way? I wonder, does is pressed get called every frame? Now look at the documentation. Input system key dot is pressed. Nope, can't look at the Google AI over thing. I just want to look at the documentation. So when does is pressed callback? Is pressed. Oh yeah, so it does every frame, I think. Okay. Like the thing about, again, I've never done adding forces or whatever, because like they build up over time if they do every frame, even if we use a delta time. But whatever. rb.add force vector2.left, or D would be right. times speed and probably times time dot delta time. Okay, so let's think about this. It's adding a force per second, like an acceleration. Maybe that's fine. And then we'll just do like if it's above a certain speed, like a speed cap, then we like don't let it, we like set it down. That probably would work. So this way it accelerates. This isn't really speed as much as it is acceleration, but it accelerates to a certain point. So we have to do that though. Probably towards the bottom of update, we'll do like a check, like a serialized field for max speed. And we'll say that equals probably 5 units per second. If RB dot linear velocity x is greater than max speed, then RB dot linear velocity x equals max speed. And then else if, because we also have to think about the negative. If negative is less than negative max speed, then what's negative max speed? Probably a better way to do that, like some type of style that can do that much simpler, but this probably works. So if D key, we do that. Else if and we'll just do that exact thing but with the A key, then RB dot, actually I just copy this and then just do negative. Actually I just do that left. So that should work. There's no jumping yet, but let's see how that works. And hopefully this new input system works. Alright, well there's no errors, but it's not moving either. I don't know if that's because there's too much friction. Oh wait, I'm not in the game thing. But also, yeah. So, quick debug thing we can do is just set little messages here. Come on. Just to see if it's actually, to what point does it fail? Is it reading the input and it's just the force is like too small? Which could very well be the case because it's being multiplied by delta time and yeah, so it's reading the input, so the force is just kind of small. So then it's multiplied by 100. Even though that doesn't do anything I have to do here, I just want to have the default be reasonable, I guess. So how does 500 work? Okay, yeah. And then kind of slippery, and that can be done. That can be modified with create a folder for like materials, and we'll make a physics material here. I'll call it ground or something. And so this, let's see, this has no physics material. So let's just add ground to it. Oh, I have to make a physics material 2D. I made a 3D one. Where do you get it? In here, 2D. Physics material 2D. Okay. Ground. And then we'll just add that to that. Alright, and then we can just find a value we like. Here's the friction. Here, I wonder if this... I think it modifies in the middle of the thing. That's still 2. Maybe not. Oh, but it's a friction combine. Yeah, it definitely wasn't like that before. So let's set it to 1 friction. This is just kind of like finding what feels good. Actually, I think I want higher friction. Like, let's do like 2.5, and then we'll balance it out by just increasing the quote-unquote speed. I should probably rename that because speed isn't exactly... Yeah, that kind of feels good. It's still a little slippery. So maybe you could do a little less speed. Well, no, the speed feels good. I think we just need more friction. Let's do like 3 friction. And then... Actually, let's do friction combine. Maximum. That might be not affect the player at all. Oh, it does. And then we'll set this back to 1 or something. There's taking the mean before. And I'll set it to 2. See how that works. And then we will increase speed to 3000. Okay, that feels kind of snappy. And I'm thinking of maybe 1500 is a little too fast. And then max speed maybe set to like 3 or something. Is it just me, or is it accelerating faster to the left than it is to the right? So we've got 30 minutes left for the check-in. So yeah, it definitely feels like it. Oh, I probably did something with the max speed wrong. Debug.log rb.linear velocity x. Alright, let's see what the linear velocity x is, because it should be nothing more than 3, nothing less than -3. So 3. And yeah, okay, so it can just go way beyond -3 for some reason. So if, oh, have to be, yeah. There we go, that should fix that. But I do think 3 is maybe a little too slow. Set it to 4. Set this maybe back to like 1000. Yeah, it's just the acceleration rate. Okay, that's very, very low. So maybe 1,500. Damn, what is happening? This means a frame rate off. No, frame rate's pretty good. Alright, in that case, we'll add the camera as a child of the player so it follows the player around. And then we'll reset the position. Oh, doesn't let me do that. Alright, I'll just manually reset the position then. Okay, that should be -10. So it's centered on the player. And then maybe I want the camera to be a little bit higher up. I think that's probably fine. And then we should add some jumping. So this is ground. And you're going to have a tag that also says that you're ground. And in the code, we're going to detect if we are grounded. Bool is grounded equals false. So then we're going to do a on collision enter QD if collision dot, I can't get the tag, dot game object dot tag dot equals and then it'll be like ground is grounded. And then we will do a thinking of potential issues, but on collision exit if collision dot game object dot tag dot equals ground is grounded, it's false. And then an update we'll do, actually maybe this wouldn't be an else if, maybe I'll just do an if here. If is grounded and keyboard dot what is it? How do you get space key dot is pressed, or, and I'll do here because order of operations matters, or kb dot w key dot is pressed, just so you can use the W to also jump. Let's see. Is grounded, space key is pressed, W key is pressed. Yeah, so then we do rb dot add force vector 2 dot up, and we'll do I'll just leave that speed, even though it's not super accurate. Thing. Jump force. And we'll have that be like considerably more. Maybe like 3,000. We're at 2,000 now, actually, not 500. So maybe it would be like 10,000. I don't know what a decent starting value would be. So that times jump force, and then I guess like times delta time. Do we need the time delta time? Because yeah, I don't know. I think it's fine there. Wait, is you even moving? Okay, you're moving left and right, just not up and down. Why is that? Is it because... Oh, because you're not tied to ground, so it's never grounded. Okay, that's maybe a little bit too much jump power. Yeah, he's gone. I don't want to leave it. This doesn't actually change it, but I don't want to leave it in the code. I was worried that multiplying by delta time would have made it too weak, but alright, let's just do 1,000. I guess there is no friction as well. I didn't really account for. Looks like I'm able to just... Yeah, I'm able to just fly. I'm not stopping being grounded. Debug.log is grounded. Let's see. Let's try to pinpoint why it's not updating the grounded condition properly. Yeah, it just says constantly true. So this isn't running. Oh, I didn't. This is the 2D version. Or the 3D version, I mean. On collision, exit 2D. Then all this stuff. Silly me. I wonder how Brady's doing right now. Like, I'm a little worried that he's going to be going too fast and it's going to be too good. And my self-esteem of making games is just going to go out the door. Alright, that's not bad. Let's experiment. Now 10,000. This is having inconsistent heights, so I don't like that. And I think that's because I'm using time to delta time here, which fluctuates. So instead I'll do this, and then is grounded equals false. But I didn't want to, I was thinking of this before. I didn't want to do this for one reason. And that's if you jump but in a way where you don't have like the ability to move up and down that well, like if you're blocked by something. All right, that's a lot. Let's set you down to like 100. Okay, 100 is, let's cut the difference, 500. All right. Okay, it's much more consistent now. 500 is maybe still a bit too much. It's just binary search until we find a decent thing. Honestly, I might not even want the main camera as, like, I might want it at kind of a constant distance. And then, first off, I kind of want the camera to be a little larger. And I'll leave it like this for now. But I don't want the camera to go up when the player goes up. I didn't save any of this. And then I'll just make a script to have it follow the X and, yeah, the X position of the player. Alright, so that is a solid jump right there. And that's because you're at 1,000. So, let's try like 400. Alright, a bit more, 500. I want to add a way that like you can hold it. Like you don't have to do a max hop every time. That might add like complexity and stuff. That feels bad. Maybe I should reduce the friction a bit. And that's why I just want to work with straight velocities, but 500 seemed okay. Maybe even go to like 600. Max speed, let's set that to 5. Let's kind of reduce the friction to like 1.7. Then player, let's maybe reduce the speed to like 1.75. Zero. And I probably shouldn't focus too much on like how it feels, because there'll be time in the future for that. Yeah, I just don't like how it stops for a second when it touches. Also, I should turn on continuous detection. I think I'm noticing it not being super accurate. Yeah, that feels better. But it's still, when it touches down, it's still like it stops for a second. And I think that's because it's like a flat collider. But maybe if we honestly turn off block collider 2D and get a like circle collider 2D instead, and see, yeah, like that. Honestly, maybe that might work a bit better. I have rotation frozen, so it shouldn't like rotate around or anything. No, that didn't change anything really. I wonder why. It's all stuff I should kind of already know, but how to do. Alright, so it hits the ground, a lot of friction. Maybe I should set the friction to mean and then just make a player friction, which is 2D physics material player. Add that there. And I don't know, you have less friction, but you still have some friction. So I'm wondering, part of it I'm wondering is, can I set it? Alright, I have an idea. Ambitious idea. You have 60 minutes until the check-in. I think I can do it 16 minutes. I want to make a coroutine. So when I jump, it has some time, like let's say over the course of like half a second, where it can continuously add force to the jump before this applies. Again, I have in my head like the issue that might come up with this, but let's make it first and then address that. So then. Alright, let's make a coroutine. Let's just stop thinking and start doing. I.e. I like it when it gives the option to me and then I can just say like using, but I have to using, I think it's system.collections. I.e. yeah, numerable or numerator? I think it's numerable. I.e. numerable. What do we name? Jump timer, I guess. I don't know. Yield return you wait 4 seconds. And then how many seconds should it be? It would be jump time equals 0.5 seconds. Jump time. And then after that's done, then is grounded would be false. Jumping, because now I need to track if it's like, if you let go of it midair, you can't just continue jumping again while you're midair if it's within like the jump timer or whatever. So I'll say is jumping equals true, then the timer, then is jumping equals false. And then in here, if is grounded and blah 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 blah, then it allows to jump. And then here I'll do if is jumping, or yeah, if not is jumping, then we'll start the coroutine. Start coroutine, jump timer. And what are you mad about? Oh, wait, what? Start. Isn't that how start coroutine works? Or run coroutine? No. String method name. When was it like that? There's two overloads. Let me look it up because I'm pretty sure. Start co routine. Can't look at the AI. Have to look at the documentation. I just want to know what the overloads are. A enumerator. Oh, that's the ray tor. Yeah, I just got that wrong. I had an inkling that was it. Start routine. Timer. Yeah. It used to be that you wouldn't have the parentheses, and it was weird to pass function or pass arguments in, but they did it now where you can just you pass the whole like function call in. I think it uses an enumerator, which is returned from whatever. Yeah, some weird shit how coroutines work. So yeah, starting on the first time it's not jumping, which then we like have it start jumping. And then we'll say else. So this is basically saying we're not jumping. And if is jumping, then is jumping equals false. Yeah. So then it's like, so if we're in the air and whatever. So what does is jumping even do though? Because I'm tracking it. So is jumping becomes true when we do this. If is ground. So I guess I should set grounded to false immediately actually. But we are jumping. If is grounded or is jumping. Yeah, and then so this turns into false if we stop jumping while we're jumping. Does that sound convoluted enough? I think this should be fine. So we have half a second to like hold it. And now that we're doing this and it's more consistent and stuff, then time.delta-time actually should be added to the force. So this both like fixes kind of like the potential issue of oh wow, it needs power now. All right, jump force. Let's set that to 2000. Well, let's do that. And also at the same time, let's make jump time a serialized field so we can mess around with it in editor. Okay, so it's still very well. Yeah, I didn't adjust anything. Let's try 2000. That's too much. Try 1000. Let's try 2000 and 0.25 jump time. Gravity seems a little. It feels very floaty. This is just normal gravity. Maybe everything's just kind of like small. So if we increase the size of it, including the size of the camera, none of this will save, but it's just kind of. It feels even more floaty. Maybe I'll just manually adjust the gravity scale of the player. Oh, I forgot to. Okay, so player. I think we liked 2000 at 125. We have 6 minutes left before the check-in, and then we have another hour. So I think the second hour I have to spend mostly on stuff like level design and, you know, enemies and stuff. I really don't like that. I don't know if I have the time to do anything with it. Like, why is it not preserving the momentum? We are able to, like, modify the jumps. It actually feels kind of nice. Maybe set this to like 0.35. 35 might be a bit much. This is 0.3 and then add another 300 to the jump for. It's like fine tuning like the feel of it, I guess. Feels very floaty, but that might be fine for like a platformer. So one concern I have that I've been thinking of this whole time is what happens with like something like this, where like a low roof, where if you jump, you don't really like. I don't know if it would ever like call the like stopping the on collision exit, or rather the issue is if it won't call the on collision. No, okay, this seems fine. I wonder why it. Because there's a lot of force going up. Alright. So that works, but I'm still don't like the fact that falling, like touching the ground, loses momentum. So what can I do? I could save the velocity and then apply it on collision entry. I just don't know why it's being lost in general. That's why I like working directly with velocities instead of applying forces. So you gotta like be wary of friction and stuff. I think I'm gonna keep it simple. Start making like a bit of a platform. I want there to be kind of be wall jumping, and I think honestly, if I just have all this tagged as ground, and then I can utilize the friction to like hang on to it, I don't have to do any specific code. But it doesn't let me jump off from it. I wonder why. Because it should be grounded. Yeah, so it lets me do that. Oh, it is letting me jump off. But if I'm holding on to it, it's like a weird, yeah. Okay, I mean, honestly, for it being like a quick game, that might be a good enough mechanic. Obviously, I might want it to be like a bit more forgiving than this. This is like you kind of have to like slide down it for a second. No, but then sometimes if you slide down it doesn't work, but sometimes otherwise it does. I wonder if like no, this doesn't even have the ability to do that. Like this is fine. But then sometimes I'm like hanging up against the wall and then yeah, like that. That's good, not good. That's good, not good. Oh, that's like because you have to. No? That's weird. I don't get why. Oh, because I never exited it, so the enter doesn't apply again. Honestly, yeah, I think if I set this to be on collision stay 2D. Okay, yeah, that's the exact same, so I can just adjust that, do that, and oh, there's the timer. That was loud. Oh shoot, I just made a change. I hope it's fine. Alright, Brady, that's the 1 hour timer. We'll do a little check-in with each other, see where we are. Brady, you're muted.
I'm in a weird spot here, man.
Yeah, no, I just made like a little change.
Something ain't working. The
Something-
AI is failing me here.
what's happening?
You show me first. You show me what you have first.
Yeah, I just made a change that is a little buggy. I was just experimenting with something. But I guess just ignore that for a second. Alright, so I just got basic kind of movement, jumping around and stuff. Yeah, see, that's not supposed to happen.
Oh.
I just made
Oh.
here, actually, let me just control Z to get to the previous version, because I wanted to just kind of play around with that idea, and obviously it's not working, so. But the previous version wasn't doing that. Alright, yeah, you see. So you can just kind of jump around and stuff, move around. I have all of these values to kind of fine tune how the movement feels. I don't know if I like how it feels right now personally, but and then I was wanting to do kind of like stuff to do with like you can hang on to walls and like jump off of them and stuff too. And that's where I am so far. My next steps are I think I need to make a script so the camera follows the player like left and right, and then again just fine tune the specifics on like the hanging onto wall mechanic. And other than that, I just need to make a level, maybe make some enemies and stuff, and like have the idea of dying. But that might be out of like the scope for the next hour or something. I might just focus on making just a level. Yeah, that's what I have. So how are you looking right now?
So, real quick, here's what I've got. Very basic level.
Mm-hmm.
So, the AI gave me camera follow.
Okay.
I just followed exactly what it said with creating this like very basic level. I haven't touched anything else with it. Doesn't have anything with like the movement being changed, so it's kind of very, very high, very kind of difficult to hit.
Yeah.
The last thing that it had me do, you can see down here, was to play a respawn.
Mm-hmm.
You can see that doesn't work.
Yeah. Well,
So,
is there anything what's triggering the respawn?
so, um, let me. You want me to just pull this up?
Yeah, I guess.
So this is it had me do this second code. It had me do one code and then changed it to this one to try and fix it.
Okay. I mean, I think I have some ideas of where the problem might be, but I can't help you, obviously. This is like to see if
No.
AI can fully lead you. But yeah, it sounds,
And if
it
you want,
looks,
I can pull this up.
yeah.
I've gone through a lot of
You know, use
steps here
all of
to
your
get to the point.
tokens for the day.
Yeah, no, I've got plus, so
You
everything
still have
is
like limited
fine.
tokens with plus, right? Like you don't. It's just
I
like a
don't
lot
think so,
more.
no.
No, I think it's
No,
still limited.
I don't know. I don't think so.
Is Chat GPT Plus still limited tokens? Whatever. Yes, ChatGPT Plus is still subject to dynamic usage caps and message limits. It's just like a lot higher, I think,
Hmm.
than the free version. For me, it's been hard whenever I need like a little bit of help on like a certain thing. Like I'm trying to look it up and look at like documentation or something. I want to avoid Reddit posts and stuff and just focus on like official documentation if I can. But I look something up and the first thing that comes up is like the Google AI. So I have to like close my eyes and like scroll down quickly to be like, no, I'm not allowed to see the Google AI tell me what the thing is. Yeah, I had a bit of trouble with the input system because I say recently, it's been like a year or two now, but they kind of changed how the input works and you're not allowed to use the old way anymore. Um, like I tried to use the old way and it yelled at me. And so I had to I've done some work with the new input system, but it was, I didn't fully remember it off the top of my head, which definitely when I'm not allowed to use AI and I'm trying to limit external tools and stuff, not having it off the top of my head did like slow me down a bit, but then I figured it out. Um, yeah.
I mean, that was another thing. Just one more thing that it had me fix too at the beginning was not clinging onto walls was something it changed.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, I figured I was gonna like, I kind of like the idea of like wall jumping in games.
yeah, everything is very bare bones right now with what it gave me,
Yeah.
but I'm not sure. I haven't gotten to the quite quite to the steps of giving it creative liberty of like what to do with the level. It's just very
Mm-hmm.
like making the basic level, and then I was gonna go from there.
All right. So I was thinking another hour for this session, and then maybe we do another session some other time. If we feel like we want to continue working on it. Because I don't know how much we can do in 1 hour from where we are, and I'd like to have like
Yeah.
a game seemingly that kind of thing. But yeah. So, but for
I
now,
mean, this
just like
might have to
another
be a
hour
multiple
session.
day thing.
Yeah, I think so. But for now, uh, just like another hour.
I think yeah, another hour should be fine. See where we are from there, and then I guess plan another day to do like another
Mm-hmm.
couple hours of sessions.
Yeah. All right. 1 hour starts now. All right. So the on collision stay did not work that well for some reason. Now I could examine why it didn't work. But honestly, I don't know. Maybe I just think of a different thing. So first off, I think I kind of want it to like after a while start sliding down. But that seems complicated. I also like that I don't love. Like it's one of the impacts of yeah. I think what if I have the jump timer can make it also so that like after the first jump if I do is grounded equals false, then that means that no, but then if I do like a short hop, like here's probably an issue. If I do, okay, if I do like a short hop, I mean, damn, it is floaty as hell. Yeah, there we go. If you do a short enough hop, then it'll just never let you jump again. So that's an issue with that approach. Alternatively, so I want a way to detect that I want a wall. Honestly, I was hoping I could just have it be a big chunk of ground, but I might need to have it be specifically a wall kind of thing. Or at least a maximum speed. That might be it. Just set a max jump speed. Might be nice. Max jump speed equals. I don't have that be a little higher than 5. Maybe like. Honestly, 5 might be a good starting point. And so we'll basically just do. If RB dot linear velocity y is greater than max jump speed, let's just like cap that at max jump speed, and this is max speed, not max jump speed. All right, I think I gotta get this through quickly, and start working on other things. Like there's a lot of other things to do. I can't spend a million years on perfecting the jumping and stuff, but it is like the most important thing. So that is severely limiting the jump, but it works better. God, I really don't like the ground friction thing. It's like kind of some level of wall jumping. No, honestly, this might be fine. Yeah, like, that kind of is an interesting mechanic there. But it's like a little inconsistent. And it removes the like just flinging up. It does like give more than just a little bit. So I'm thinking, as far as like a platform goes, this is like not a lot of jumping. But I wonder if maybe we focus more on like the wall writing and wall jumping stuff instead of traditional like side scrolling platformer. Maybe you can make it even like kind of like a rage game, like Fadian type, where you have to reach the end without like falling. So then we don't have to do stuff like death and stuff because the threat is just like, yeah, I kind of like that idea. Kind of make it a Fadian 2D platformer, which I'm sure has never been done before, but yeah, I like that. I like that. Yeah. So then what? Then I should make a camera follow script, and I want it to be a little bit fancier uh than just like strictly being like super tied to it like a child would be to the game object. So create script camera follow. So but it's gonna be some weird interpolation math that I don't know off the top of my head. So I'll have to figure it out. But I have over 50 minutes. I have around 50 minutes to figure it out and build the level and then maybe work on a little bit of art if I can. Though honestly, I might save that for a future session. I don't think I'll be doing much art today. But all right. So we need a reference to the player. We need, I mean, that might be it. Should I just get a transform directly? Yeah, whatever. I'll just say play. So and then so I want the speed of like the camera moving to the player to be greater at greater distances and less than like smaller at less distances. Which I think I can do. So first let's compute like the distance. Dist equals player dot transform dot position minus transform dot position, and that returns a vector. So actually I'll do vector to diff equals that. I don't need these here anymore. And then I'll say float, and then the distance is equal to diff dot magnitude. So then with the distance, so then diff is kind of like the direction it needs to point in, I think. It's a vector to that, so that's the direction it needs to point to. So then we do like transform dot position plus equals. Can you plus equals the position? I gotta figure it out. Diff, right? Okay, yeah, it says. Yeah. So we'll do vector to new pause equals new pause equals transform dot position plus diff probably dot normalized times distance. I'm normalizing it and then okay. So maybe I just do plus diff times time dot delta time. So then what do you not like about this? Oh, because it's vector 3 and vector 2. Vector 2. Yeah, whatever. And then we'll do transform dot position dot x equals. Can you not modify the x thing specifically? So how about we do pause 3, and then I just need to make it so the c is like, what is it, -10 or something by default. Yeah, -10. So yeah, I guess I don't need the distance because that's just like in the difference in the diff vector. Transform dot position equals new pause. And so that means in 1 second it would reach that. And then I guess I can adjust that, but for now let's just see how it works. Like that, like this. Then I might want a variable for like an offset or something. But again, let's just see how this works. And I don't have a serialized field for the player. I love me some serialized fields. So main camera needs a reference to the player. All right, let's see how this works. I bet it's not going to be great, but honestly, this is actually kind of nice. Look at that. It's maybe a little slow. Yeah. Do I want to adjust like an offset? Or do you think this is fine? This is probably fine. Maybe a bit of an offset. To offset. And I'm gonna do new pause plus equals offset. And then you don't like that because, yeah, it's vector. So I will just make this a vector 3. So that should have the offset be adjusted. Or honestly, I can do that like here plus offset, which honestly I don't even need the parentheses because it's all whatever. So yeah, so then that should work. And then to adjust the speed of the camera, float cam speed, it'll be some like multiplying that. So I want higher number is faster, which means that it's that time to delta time would be bigger. So yeah, I think it's just like times. So 1 is like 1 second. 2 is it would take like half a second to reach, I guess. Let's see if that is speed. And let's just set it to equal to like 1.5 to start off. All right, I have no offset. This definitely feels faster. And then let's set this to like 10 just to make sure it actually is doing something. Yeah, and now it's like practically perfectly tracking it. All right, so the cam speed seems to work. The offset is, I think, if we make the main camera on the player, 6 is good. So an offset of 6 on the Y feels kind of nice. Yeah, maybe a little less, maybe not, just an offset of 5. Because I want to see, you probably want to be able to see some under you, but... That's nice, yeah. So, honestly, maybe even a little less, maybe like 3. And then maybe a bit of a higher cam speed. Yeah, that feels nice. So I guess for the rest of today, with the 40 minutes I have left, I'll maybe try to make a bit of like a level. And then maybe I'll have time for art. Alright, so let's just make this kind of like a thick base. And then let's start doing some like platforms, ground, and then this is wall, I guess. Start like organizing this. So I can do kind of like this as like a way to like split up the stuff. And honestly, I saw someone once be able to like adjust this little icon here. I don't know how they did it. It's like this. That doesn't adjust the icon here. Oh, I didn't not like that. Yeah, it doesn't adjust the icon here. Anyways, I also want to make a 2D object. I need to make walls, like level walls. I guess is what I'll call them. And they're essentially the same as the platform walls. They just aren't tagged as ground so that you can't jump on them. This is actually, so it's going to be a very like vertical game, I guess, because it's kind of like Fadian is the idea. Yeah, that should be fine. They're not gonna see any of that shit. Maybe I can like control. Yeah, whatever. All right, so then now it's just about level design. So this is kind of the playground I've started. So this, you know, let's just keep it just like that. So then, I mean, you can just kind of start with like some bullshit like this. Maybe some different paths. It'd be fun. And then maybe, oh, we could have like, if it could get like thinner and thinner maybe. Like, we'll have it thin like this. But then it's like it'll become shorter and shorter so that you have less like space to work with. Because like this is like the little introductory part. But then like now you're coming up to here and it's like, oh, you're getting less and less space to work with. You gotta be careful. And a big jump here with like a small thing there or something. Alright, let's just like play around with this. And so far it's pretty easy. Alright, so I can't make that jump, so I do have to like do like the wall jump on it. Okay, yeah, that's camera might need to be a little bit faster or a little less overlay. Size is probably fine. Maybe I set it to 9. I'll set this to offset is 2, and camera speed is also going to be 2. So in half a second, it follows. It'll get to the player, no matter its distance. Whoa, 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 whoa. No jumping? Sometimes jumping. No jumping here? What the hell was that about? Like I jumped from here. Then, I don't know. I thought I couldn't jump. Maybe just ate my input. So the question is from here. Can I... No, I can't reach, so you have to do the wall jumping from there. Okay. So now let's mix it up. What if we had something like this, but we had a super bouncy material and we made it green. And it'd be like a little bounce pad. 2D physics material. Bouncy. And it'll have the same friction as ground, I guess. And then bounciness should be like 10. That's probably way too bouncy. Maybe 2. Let's just set it down here and see, kind of examine how it even works. I didn't add the bouncy material to the bouncy wall. I think I still didn't add the physics material. I think I got distracted. No, I did. Okay. Oh, it's too high. Also, I want the camera to have a bit more offset. I think 3 was nice, and it just needs to be faster, which I did set it faster, so we'll see. The one thing is like if the character is falling, then yeah, I don't want to. Maybe I could set like a maximum distance clause. Boing, boing. So this is nice. It is tagged as ground, so you could jump off of it, so that could be nice. But maybe I want it even more bouncy than this. It's like, let's see, if I like jump off from here, yeah, no, I can actually reach it. But I wonder if like jumping off of it, right? Because like with this bounce gives you like a lot more bang for your buck. Doesn't actually look like it. So yeah, I just need to set the 4 bounce units. Let's double it to 4. Still not, doesn't seem like much. Alright, let's go to 10. I kind of want something a bit absurd. That's weird, because it's like, this is where adding forces for movement instead of velocity is helpful, because velocities would just completely overwrite the bounciness. But it's like, I'm adding a force, but it should be, it feels like it's fighting against it like super quickly. It doesn't matter, I don't know. Me 10 is just getting too much. We'll do 5, and then yeah, I guess I just can't use it as I wonder if 1 is the max bounciness and it just lets you go higher, but it doesn't really matter because it doesn't seem like wouldn't a bounciness of over 1. Let's just see what happens if I have just like a crazy high bouncy score. Yeah, it just, but it always lasts the same amount of time. Which is weird. It feels like it stopped kind of suddenly. Alright, let's try 20. And then I think I'm gonna have to like kind of speed up the fine-tuning part here, and then just the 20 might be kind of nice. Well, no, it's like glitchy. It's like so high it's glitchy. Let's just stick to 5 because it seems like it had more or less the same behavior. And then let's put it around places. I think something interesting could be like a wall like this that you jump to, and then like it has a little segment of this. Okay, let's have the bouncy wall there, and then the bouncy wall is going to have center that. Something like that might be kind of neat. So then might want to make that a little closer to ground. Yeah, so that's like, it's not like a big threat, but it's just like something. All right. I think for the rest of the 30 minutes I have, I might want to try doing a little bit of art. I mean, obviously, I need like an actual level design beyond this, but this is, I think, like maybe a good like conceptual start for stuff. And then maybe instead of the bounce, or in addition to the bounce, kind of what I was actually imagining was like maybe a block that really pushes you, like boom, away, like it'll be a threat. Maybe I'll do that right now, honestly. I'll just do that in script, and it should be kind of fine. What do we call it? Push block, I guess. So push block open. So it should be simple. It should be like an on collision enter, get the other guy, find like the difference vector like we did with the camera, and then just apply a force in that direction. In like a fairly large force, I guess. And that'll just make it so that if you touch it, it'll push you away from it. Kind of like I think I was trying to make that behavior with the bouncy property, and it just wasn't working really that well. But this is, you know, I can actually like fine tune it, I guess, a bit more. Can this warning like shut up? All right. Yeah, here we go. So it should just be on collision enter 2D. I guess I can do if collision dot game object dot tag equals player. And then it would do the thing, you know, I guess just in case something else touches it, but it doesn't really matter. If maybe I'll do the try get component instead. If collision dot get object dot try get component, so it would work on anything with a rigid body, I guess. Rigid body 2D. And then it'd be like what? Out RB. Out rigid body 2D RB. There's like a neat little thing you can do. Do I even? Oh, I do need the rigid body because I'm not applying a force. So then I'll get vector 3 if equals collision dot game object dot transform dot position minus, and then the transform position of this, and then I'll do RB dot add force diff, and then we'll have serialized field for the force amount. Load force equals, let's just set it to like 500. We just push it out. Add force diff times force. Honestly, that should be it if it's good. I definitely need a better, this is like a gross level so far. I need to actually kind of like start thinking of how to make a level. Alright, so it'll just be you, and then I'll do the push wall or something. I'll make you kind of red because you're dangerous. So maybe not like too red, but like I don't know. And then I'll give you push block, and then I also want. Oh no, I didn't use a player tag, so I don't need to do that. I'll send it down here just so I can kind of experiment with it. Alright, 20 minutes on the clock. Doing pretty good. That's the thing. It doesn't. Yeah, because it's like. It'll be like more down than like you expect, because like. It focuses on like the center. When it calculates like the difference. Yeah, so maybe I'll just get the X component. Y. I'll just like be like no Y component, just the X one. Yeah, it feels better, but I have another idea. Using coroutines. Using system.collections, i.e. numerator. So I think a big problem with how the bouncing is kind of feels weird is that I have to increase the force to have it bounce more, but then it's that the force is always only added for one frame. And you can increase the force, but that just it increases the speed, and when you're holding the other direction, that's like it's adding a force in the other direction, canceling it out, and it's doing that every frame. So like very quickly overrules it. So all you can do is just make it faster to have more of an effect, but that isn't exactly what you want, maybe. So if I can do a coroutine to constantly add the force every frame for a set amount of time, might create a bit more smooth, natural behavior. So I'll do, let's make a push. Just got push. So I'll do that. I think there's like a funny way to do this. I might just use an update when the coroutine just applies like a boolean. The other way to do that would be a loop in push that like waits for end of frame, and then we keep track of the time separately. But I think an update and then just with conditions is probably just simplest. So I'll do bool pushing false. When this happens, pushing equals true. Yield return new wait for seconds. And then we need a serialized field float time, push time or something. Equals, we'll do it for like 1 second, I guess. Wait for second equals, and then push time, and then pushing equals false. And so instead of adding the force here, I'll do RB, or not RB, start coroutine, push. And that should be good. And then I just need to say this diff vector, which I'll do by actually having vector2 diff da, new variable there. I'll just initialize as vector 2.0. I'm sure I don't really need to initialize it like that, but it's whatever. And then we'll have an update that'll be like if pushing, right? If pushing, then this. And then we'll add a time dot delta time to it. What happened to it? There we go. RB. RB. I just have to rigid body 2D RB and then get rid of this. RB dot add force times dot. All right, so that should be good. So now it should apply at a rate of whatever the force variable is per second for a consistent, spread out consistently over some time, which should be nicer than just one big explosion of force. Now, I can't tell if it's all right, time to if or debug dot log here, like a boring message. So we'll see how many times the coroutine is starting. Sorry, I'm tired for some reason. 15 minutes left to figure this out. I don't know if I'll be able to do any art today, but am I getting any of the here messages? It's like a routine. Yeah, where's true coming from? I need to shut up. I wonder how Brady's doing. Okay, so here happened once. Good. Happens twice. Good. So I wonder if just the force is not enough then. Yeah, because I guess with the time dot delta time. Okay, maybe not that much. Like 5,000 is too much. 2,000. Oh yeah, that's good. Maybe just and then 0.5, and then maybe set this to like 3,000. Yeah. Maybe set this to 4,000 for 0.75. Yeah, I kind of like that. And then it's like, yeah, it's just, it's bad about up and down because it, but I think I have an idea of how to do that a bit better. So instead of just saying y equals 0, so diff equals that, and then we'll say, I can do something like, if diff dot, and be like absolute value, math f dot value, diff dot x, it's greater than, same thing but with the y, then diff dot y equals 0, and then else diff dot x equals 0. So then it keeps the component of the larger of the two, in terms of larger, like magnitude. So it shouldn't do any super weird, like, so, you know, when you bounce on the side, you bounce on the side, but up and down also work. Like, yeah, see, so that does in fact actually push you up, but also pushes you right and stuff. Yeah, I like that. And that's an issue. Why is that an issue? Because set it to false. So I do think it would be good for player movement to use on collision stay 2D. Maybe in addition to these things, like maybe I just do that. It like fucked up before somehow, but I don't know. I really feel like you shouldn't use stay with also enter and exit because it's unpredictable. Because like it doesn't feel safe because what if like during the thing it's like I jump so I leave. This runs first, setting grounded to false. Oh, but if the collision has exited, then if this followed, and then the other, no, I guess it probably is safe, honestly. This is awful, but we're in a time crunch and it seems to work, so I'm not gonna mess with it right now. If something wrong comes up later, then I will mess with it more. I just really don't get that. Yeah, it's just that the X and Y velocity kind of like stops, but I guess it's fine. I don't know of that. And oh yeah, that's because of the man. Is wall? Do I want to add wall climbing? Both because I don't have to then like worry about it. But also it might be kind of sick. Like you can attach to the wall and then you can climb up it. Might be kind of nice, honestly. And it makes it like bouncy, like oh, it doesn't matter. You can just slide by it. Oh, you don't have to. Damn, that doesn't. Oh, yeah. Maybe I retire the bouncy and replace it with put it here because I don't know if I completely want to get rid of it, but and I just do this to center it. Seven minutes remaining. Might end early, because kind of completed my goals for I guess this session, and then it's like just art and level design mainly and animation. If I want to do that, yeah. So that does like that might be a bit too intense, but damn. That is like really strong. I guess the problem with what I did, just kind of showing ourselves, is if this is like really tall like this, then you can hit the side and it still will send you down. I don't know much of a better way to detect the side though, besides doing some annoying stuff with like different colliders. Like, yeah, like that'll send you down. So I think though what I can just do is I just keep it kind of on the smaller side. It might not be the best solution, but and then if I get the player and I bring him up here. So that like pushes you off. So you have to like oh, that was almost in. Maybe I have to make it a little thinner. But I like the idea. Yeah, I'm growing more and more fond of the like sliding up the wall mechanic. And maybe I want to have the player have more max jump speed. I don't know if the wall will allow that. I feel like it would. I feel like the wall does allow it to have. Yeah. Yeah, I like that. That feels nice. It is annoying that you can't see the ground when you're falling. I should do something specific with that, but with 3 minutes on the clock, I don't think that's something I can really do. So I think I think I'm done for now. I guess I'll talk to Brady, see if how he feels. All right, Brady. There's 3 minutes on the clock left. Is there much you're gonna want to do in those 3 minutes?
I'm just making sure that this last thing works, and then okay, it works.
All right.
So I don't think I'm gonna be able to get much more done.
Yeah. So, I guess let's show off our progress for the day.
All right,
I went first last time. You want to go first this time?
sure, I'll go first. Let me share my screen real quick. So first, this is the level that it has created.
All right. How did
I'm
you
gonna
have
just
it?
show off what everything does.
How did you have it create a level? I'm curious. Did it generate an image that you
well,
created or like?
No, so I literally just I don't even know where I want to start here. So I basically just started with, hey chat, I'm creating a platformer game through Unity. I have no idea what I'm doing. What's the first step? And it walked me through, and I literally just went step by step, said, okay, it worked, give me the next steps.
Mhm.
And then when it would create a platform, it screwed it up the first time, I think, or something, but it would just give me a position to put it
Okay.
in,
Okay, that's
and
neat.
I just did that. So, and then it would give me text, and then anytime it would say like, you put this thing here, for example, I would just use its example that it would give me, and
So
then
it
just
just
position it
okay.
wherever it told me.
Okay, so it just gives you the exact coordinates of where everything should go. Okay.
Yeah.
I wonder if
it's-
that'll like mess up in the future after a while, cause like I don't know. But yeah.
I guess we'll see. I haven't positioned anything on my own. I've just wherever it told me to place things, I placed it.
Right. You
So
got some UI text too. It had you do some UI stuff.
yeah, so I'll show you everything. So from the last time I checked in with you, I had the death barrier issue,
Mm-hmm.
and I figured out that the reason it wasn't working was because I had unselected this right here instead
Yeah.
of unselecting the sprite to actually
Yeah. See that button there
do that.
disables the game object. Yeah.
Yeah, so I learned how to do that by troubleshooting through the AI. So now when I drop down here, it
Mm-hmm.
puts me straight back up. I think the next thing it had me do was this coin up here. So you'll see when I hit that, I get crystals. And also, I don't remember what the prompt was, but it did give the thing a name because I eventually told it just you have full creative liberty
Yeah.
over this game. And I told it that. So let me find exactly where. Here we go. Everything works. I'm giving you full creative liberty of how this game turns out. So the game concept is called Crystal Caverns. If you want to read through this, you can, but
Yeah. So you did the score text stuff. That's cool.
yeah,
So
so that the next thing it had me do was the coin, and then it had me do the text, and then I think after that, I hope these are in the right order. It had me do
like spikes for
like
danger. Yeah.
like spikes. So I only have one for now, but then it also had me do after that a checkpoint,
Oh,
which it
okay.
gave me. So it gave me when I'm doing all these things, it was like, oh, create a checkpoint. It can either be one of these three colors. For now, I just chose a color um from the list it gave me, but later I'm gonna just have it generate all the actual assets. So I figured that
Mm-hmm.
probably doesn't matter too much right
Yeah.
now. So now you'll see when I hit the spike, it puts me straight back to the checkpoint.
Yeah.
And then it
Um.
had me create a level complete, which when I hit this,
Oh, more UI
ignore
stuff.
the ignore the restart level part because it didn't have me do that yet. That's what I just finished. So it had me do the level complete once I hit this. And this is what I just finished up, the restart level part.
Mm-hmm. I bet it does that by loading the scene instead of just teleporting the player back.
I'm
Yeah.
not sure exactly how it works. I just know it works.
The vibe coding way.
Yes.
Yeah, no, that's cool. I will say, like, it
Yeah.
seems like you jump very high, and I think you are allowed to be like, hey, the jumping is really high. Can you adjust that? You know, as long as you don't just adjust it yourself manually, but like, you can like give the AI feedback and like have it
Yeah.
adjust some
I mean,
things like that.
right now I'm just trying to create the game because everything works right now, and then I will like if there's any issues with it where I'm like, oh, I want the movement to be a little bit smoother, then I'll have it fix that. But
Yeah. All right. I guess I'll show you what I have done. So I think I'm kind of starting to veer away from like a traditional platformer, like in the way you are. Uh, I've decided that I want to make kind of a very vertical, almost, you know, like Ben and Foddy's Getting Over It, kind of like a Foddian style game.
yeah.
Because, well, part of my okay, I started up here because I was testing stuff, but so first off, I did do a camera thing, kind of like you did, so that it's actually following and it's kind of like smooth
Hmm.
like that. But so as you can see, I'm doing a much more like vertical idea. I don't have much of like a level design set up yet or anything, but and it's gonna be focused on ideas of like wall writing, and so like you can go on a wall and like hold on it, but then you can like slide up it and like launch yourself up between like walls like that. It's gonna kind of have be like how it
See.
is. Um, and I don't know if I want to do like the jumping like you before you had to like jump between like the walls like wall jump like that, but then I kind of made some changes that allowed like this wall sliding up to work. So I don't know if I want to go back to being like you have to like physically you have to like actually jump on the walls or the sliding. I think the sliding could be cool because it adds a lot of speed. Also I made this like little red thing that like pushes you away. So it's like a little obstacle, so you have to like jump around it, or otherwise it like just like pushes you away from
Okay.
the wall. And so I was thinking of making it Fodian first because I like Fodian games, but also it means that I don't have to worry about like death. Like you have like respawning and stuff like that, but on a more finished game, you might need to make like a death screen with like a button to restart and stuff like that. But I figured a fighting game, the losing condition is just falling down to lose progress. So I don't actually have to, as part, I can make the game like this, and then I don't even have to worry about checkpoints or dying or respawning or anything like that. And I can really just focus on the level design. Was kind of my thought. Actually, I haven't checked to make sure that these walls on the side you can't write up on. I'm pretty sure I made it. So yeah, okay. So you can't write up on the walls on the side, but I will say one thing I don't like. I like my movement decently. It feels kind of smooth. The jumping, I made it so like you can like just tap it to do a little bit, or you can like hold it down, and
Mhm.
it feels good. I think the one thing I don't like is that if you jump while moving and then you hit the ground, you like stop for a second before continuing on. I don't think it's the biggest deal in the world because again, it's going to be a very vertical platformer where you're probably not going to stop on the ground much, and if anything, having a little bit of like friction to like stop you might be nice because the ground platforms are like it would be like more of a break than anything.
Mhm.
But yeah, so that's kind of where I am at, and I tried to do that like this block using. Actually, you don't know probably what it is, but I tried to use a physics material like and then have like crank up the bounciness, but that didn't really work. So I made my own custom script for like pushing the player around. Like so this is how like the Like it looks pretty good if you're like bouncing on top of it, but then that's like how it looks if you're just like holding
Mm.
into the side, and that's not exactly the behavior I wanted. So I just like did it myself, and like as you can see now, even if I'm like holding, it like still pushes me far away enough that it could like potentially like I don't know push me off and have me lose progress or something.
Hmm.
Um, so that's why I
Yeah,
put
I
the little
think
green thing on the side.
for me, one of the things that's stopping me from progressing further is just trying to figure out like what the AI is asking me to do because I don't know like with some things like it'll tell me something and then I have to like read it a couple times through to
Mm-hmm.
see like oh it wants me to do this and then take
Yeah.
everything step by step. So that's something that seems like it's slowing down my progress
Do you think
a little
you're
bit.
do you think you're learning from it though? Like from even just by letting the AI do everything, do you think that like you're getting like maybe after we finish this and we both like finish this whole little challenge thing like fully, do you think you could sit down and without an AI, but maybe like some help from an AI or something, but like generally still like by yourself,
Well,
you'd be a lot
I
more
don't think I could. The code is where I think it
you'd be
like because
lost.
I'm not reading any of this. I'm
Yeah.
just it's saying paste this code into here and save
Mm-hmm.
it, and that's what I'm doing. Like I can show you. Hold up, let me share my screen again. So it's just like it says open this, paste these codes into here, and then save
Yeah.
it, and then go back. So this I couldn't do. Like
Okay.
there's no way that I could do this without an AI.
Mm-hmm.
It would take me I don't even know if you gave me a bunch like hours and hours, I don't think I could do it
Okay.
because I don't know how to code.
Yeah.
But I am learning how Unity works a little bit
The
more.
engine itself, yeah,
Yeah, the engine and how everything
kind of works
kind of
together.
operates. And like I'm no professional and it would probably take me a good chunk of time still with no AI, but I think I am learning a little bit more of how Unity operates.
All right. Well, I mean, yeah, that sounds good for like our first little session. I'm
Mhm.
honestly, I'm a little impressed by like how much the AI was able to do. But
In like a short
honestly,
span of
in a
time
short
or
span of
just in
time,
general?
both, I guess. But on the other hand, I guess not really. I'm not really all that impressed. Uh, because like what I know about AI is that it's really good at doing stuff uh that's already been done before that has like examples for. So and it seems like it's making a very generic platformer. You know, it has like the collect objects, checkpoints, respawning. Like so far, the game is still very basic, so it hasn't needed to veer into any like specific creative territory. So I wonder how, as the game gets more and more complex, will the AI continue to be able to perform? Because right now it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Right now it's like, I'd say we seem to be going at around the same pace. I feel like we both have a similar amount of features and functions of stuff. You know, I spend, I think, a bit more time fine tuning the movement, whereas you kind of like added more stuff. Like you have like checkpoints and respawning and UI stuff, but kind of more clunkier movement, where I kind of focused more on having the movement feel smooth. Was a big chunk of my time. But overall, I think we made similar progress in a similar amount of time.
Yeah, and
Um,
I mean, keeping in mind that like I'm not giving it any feedback of like
mm-hmm.
what direction I think it should go in. Like I'm letting the AI determine what direction it wants things to go
Yeah.
in. Like I'm just asking it for the next step.
Mm-hmm. Like seeing if like an AI could like fully automate making a game like that. But yeah.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see where it goes. I think I have no idea how to make a platforming level, so I'll have to figure that out. And I wonder if AI will have any idea either.
Yeah, I'm just interested to see if it adds any additional features apart from spikes and coins and
Mm-hmm.
checkpoints.
Yeah.
Because right now it doesn't like I don't know what else it could add realistically with the direction it's going in. Like maybe like potentially moving objects, potentially
Mm-hmm.
like moving spikes.
I
I don't
mean,
know. I don't know what
I've messed
directions.
with moving object, like moving platforms that you can stand on. It's not too bad, but
Hmm.
there are like some caveats. So I wonder if AI. I bet it's a common enough thing that I bet the AI has enough like information to avoid the kind of issues that come with it. But I wonder if it can handle like moving platforms and stuff like that. But
I'm
yeah,
sure it can, because there has been a couple things. There was a couple hiccups that kind of prevented my progress of like it telling me something, and this also could be like this could be a good test for like what we're trying to do. I made a couple mistakes because it didn't word it the best. So then I had to go back and it was like, all right, delete all of this and try this again because I didn't know what I was doing. So there was also that halted a little bit of progress of mine, like user error.
yeah. All right. Well, I think that's a good place to end it for today. We'll do some more, maybe another 1 or 2 of these sessions. I think to kind of get a
Like a
full
kind of game.
a quick small but like fully kind of complete little game. With like a main menu and everything like that. Yeah. So, I mean, there's no one watching my stream, I don't think, but thanks for watching.